what a girl, what a girl. I just wanna fuck her till we make a toast, girl.
Yiddy. Yo. What's good? What's great, world? What's good, Christoph? What's great, Christoph?
Are you okay? Did you
I
secretly
feel good, man.
Did you secretly do a
It's
line?
fantasy.
just now?
It's fantasy.
It is, and we have been doing pretty good.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Let's
love
get
it.
this shit, man. Yo, Nikhil Harry, told y'all. Joshua Kelly, told y'all. Mo Ali Cox, told y'all. What's good, man?
How many of y'all actually bought low on Joe Mixon?
Y'all
I tried
gonna
to warn
learn. Y'all are going to learn.
But you get a second chance. I got you this week.
And if you sold high on Calvin Ridley, wow. I wonder who came up with that. Wow. Oh, man, nah. What's good, what's great, world? Another rendition of the Behind the Logo podcast here with your Week 5 fantasy breakdown. A little bit of an adjustment to the way that we're going to do it this week. Going to be a little bit more all-encompassing. We're going to have some stardom sit-ems, going to have some waivers, just like we always do, sleepers, and some buy low, sell highs. Got it all mapped out for y'all, man. We're going to get straight into it, my guy. Starts of the week. We're not going to go by position the way that some of these other sites do it. We're just going to go 3 great starts.
Yeah.
Like, play these guys. Let's alternate 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. Yep. Take it away, my guy.
My first start of the week is gonna be Brandon Ayuk of the San Francisco 49ers going against Miami.
Yes.
Look, he's been being implemented in this offense more and more, guys. There's injury.
Multitude of ways.
And before the season even started, he was already looked at to be that guy.
Yes.
It's happening, guys.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Right before our eyes.
It's happening faster because of these injuries.
Yeah.
Going against the Miami defense, who is Swiss cheese. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They have an impressive secondary, but
It hasn't come through yet.
It hasn't come through yet. Give me Brandon Ayuk starting against Miami this week.
I like it. I like that play a lot. I'm going to match a receiver prediction, and I'm going to say this is a great week to play DJ Moore. The Atlanta Falcons are riddled with injuries in that secondary. DJ Moore had a good game against the Cardinals, but that's the only time this season in week 2 that we've really seen him do what you probably drafted him to do in that 5th or 6th round. Bridgewater has looked great. The Falcons defense has just looked horrible. I have a lot of faith in Bridgewater. I think this is the week that DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson both do it enough for you. But if you have both in your lineup and you're wondering which one to play, I'm gonna rock with DJ Moore.
Okay, I like that.
Like that one a lot.
I like that one.
Atlanta's bad, man.
Atlanta's really bad. You know who's just as bad? Seattle's defense, guys.
Wow, these aren't your father's Seattle Seahawks.
This is a 4-0 team, but if you look at it, every matchup they've had wide receiver go for at least 15 points.
Yeah.
Guys, look, I got Justin Jefferson going against Seattle this week.
Okay.
He's been impressive on the season, going against a very favorable matchup.
Yes.
Listen, the Seahawks were able to give up 10 points to 2 different Dolphins. Well, it was a tight end and a wide receiver.
Yeah.
The Vikings are going to throw the football.
Absolutely.
That's the name of the game. They have Dalvin Cook, and they're going to throw the football.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson's going to give you some points this season, man.
I think the Seattle defense's primary strength is their front 7 and then the ability to bring Jamal Adams down and support the run. So I believe that this is a big game for Vikings weapons, except Dalvin Cook. With that being said, in order to get the ball to Justin Jefferson, in order to get the ball to Adam Thielen, I think this is a week that you have to start Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
The Vikings offense has gotten back on track in recent weeks. I think something we could point to is the emergence of Justin Jefferson. I think they've realized that Dalvin Cook, just get him the ball and let him cook. No pun intended. And at this juncture in time, Minnesota realizes, okay, we're at the same record as Detroit. Green Bay's dominating the division, and Chicago seems to have taken a step back. That wild card spot's up for grabs. They're realizing, we're paying Kirk Cousins all this money. We're paying all these weapons all this money. Let's actually use them. I think Kirk Cousins is a fantastic QB play this week. I actually have him putting up more points against Seattle than I have Josh Allen putting up against Tennessee.
Got it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And last but not least,
give me
number 3 start.
Allen Robinson going against Tampa Bay.
I'm going up against him in 2 leagues this week. I don't like
It's
that.
going to be a tough one for you. Let me tell you why. Listen, Tampa Bay has given up at least 12 points to opposing wide receivers in the last 3 matchups.
Wow.
Keenan Allen went for 17 last game.
Okay.
So Allen Robinson with that Nick Foles connection, listen, that's his safety blanket. 13 targets last week.
Okay.
He's going to feed him. He's going to get those catches. Listen, Allen Robinson's healthy. He's going to get those catches.
Yeah.
He's going to he's a formidable wide receiver.
I don't think Tampa Bay's secondary have anyone that can really keep up with him.
Nope. No lockdowns over there.
Do we trust Foles over there to get him the ball?
Yeah.
Deliver it
I
out there.
trust Foles.
Okay.
Because Foles is the most ideal game manager, I feel,
Interesting.
in the league right now.
Yeah.
And if you tell him to go out there and give it to this guy, God damn it, he's going to go out there and give it to that guy, and that guy happens to be Allen Robinson. I don't like them to get much in the run game this week. David Montgomery is... Look, if you have him on your team, you have to throw him out there.
And I think the Bears will fall behind, have to throw the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to throw David Montgomery out there because there's no Tariq Cohen. There's no one else in that backfield.
Yeah.
He's going to get all those touches.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to throw the ball to keep up with this Tom Brady-led offense. Give me Allen Robinson.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. I'm hoping he has like a mild game. I need some mild sauce. All right, yeah, and my last play of the week. All right, I know for those that have drafted, Evan Ingram hasn't delivered. Noah Fant dealing with some injuries. Darren Waller, maybe where you, or honestly, Zach Ertz, where you took him, hasn't really delivered the production at the tight end that you need at that position. Very important position in fantasy.
Yeah, man.
Against Buffalo, we have seen Mike Gesicki have a good game. We've seen Darren Waller have a good game. This week, I got Jonnu Smith. Back to that safety blanket argument. Him and Tannehill have developed a really special connection, one that's very underrated. Shout out to Jonnu Smith, alumni from FIU, out here in Biscayne Bay. I have a lot of faith in him. He's a very athletic touchdown option that Tannehill trusts. And against this Buffalo defense, we've seen them struggle to contain athletic and playmaking tight ends. So for that reason, I got Jonnu Smith this week.
I'm not mad at it.
All right, man. And if you have a start and someone who you're guaranteed to start, then you got some people that you're guaranteed to sit.
Obviously.
And see, I think predicting the starts is a little easier than the sits. Because with sits, we're basically saying this person is not worthy of being in your lineup. Even if they do put up points, it's not going to be enough to take you over the top.
Facts.
So on my first sit of this week, I'm going with Jared Goff. Back to the QB position. Sean McVay has shown an inability to trust Goff to make plays down the field. Everything is run-based play action. Washington's secondary is a little bit slept on. They're not the worst. I think it does take an exceptional weapon to really give them some trouble. I don't know who the Rams have on the offensive side of the ball that makes me feel like they can really break through and give Goff the game that you need to get a win in your lineups this week. I'm sitting Jared Goff this week against Washington.
All right, I'm not mad at it. And I'm going to go QB too. Unfortunately, it's my QB.
Oh, man.
Not my fantasy QB, my actual team.
He looked so good last week.
He did. He looks like he's getting his confidence back. But guys, Carson Wentz is a sit for me this week.
Yeah.
Listen, that Pittsburgh D-line is every QB's nightmare.
Yes.
Steelers, and you told me the Steelers are a sneaky 4-0 right now,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Very sneaky 4-0.
Very sneaky.
That's
And
that's not a coincidence.
And they're winning games in convincing fashion.
Yep.
Like, they look really good. The lack of weapons makes it hard to trust Wentz this week.
And if you look at our predictions videos for the for week 5, 6,
Week 5.
for week 5, you'll see that I actually have Philly winning this game, but I don't think it's gonna be because of Carson. I think this is gonna be more play calling. Doug Peterson's gonna have a lot to do with this, and Miles Sanders, I feel like, is gonna have a strong game.
All right, man. I like that. Next play is this one. You can kind of look at it as a little bit obvious, but maybe not if you're getting caught up in the numbers. If you haven't been listening to this podcast, you might not understand that stats tell a story, not the story. And for that reason, I actually have Melvin Gordon as a sit this week.
I feel that.
Going up against a very tough Patriots defense.
Yep.
Bill Belichick knows how to take away what makes you comfortable. If a rookie quarterback gets thrown in there, whether it's Drew Lock in his second year or Brett Rapine or whoever they throw out there, Belichick is going to make them as uncomfortable as possible for all game. In order to do that, you got to force a rookie to make mistakes. Rookies get comfortable when the run game gets going because it's free yards. I think with the return of Phillip Lindsay potentially as well, not only do we see the touches start to go down, I think this week particularly the value goes down, and Gordon just isn't. He's just not in your lineup this week.
Nope. And I guess I'll go running back too.
Okay.
Give me Antonio Gibson is a sit this week versus the LA Rams.
Been playing very well.
He has been playing well, guys. But listen, this LA D-line is no joke.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell y'all. And
Yeah.
Aaron Donald will eat that up. And with Kyle Allen now starting, we don't know what that offense is going to look like.
Yes.
I think that Antonio Gibson was a very pleasant surprise last week, giving us 22 points in PPR leagues.
Yeah.
But this week, I don't like him to find any holes. I don't like him to really get anything going in the pass-catching game. Listen, this LA D-line has been able to hold some of the better running backs to less than 10 fantasy points. Let's be real. Antonio Gibson's not going to be the one to break that trend.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, again, this is going to be one of those games maybe where it's a defensive battle. It's going to be a slugfest. Antonio Gibson looks to be the number one back in Washington, which is a nice surprise. But I'm with you. Based on the point production he's given us the last 2 weeks, trending upward, this week I think we start to see that subside.
I'm not saying trade him. I'm
Yeah.
saying drop him. Just temper your expectations this week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially we don't know what that offense is going to look like with Kyle Allen. We do
don't.
not know.
We don't.
My last sit of the week, man. Referenced him a little bit earlier just now. If we have Carson Wentz on the sit-'em list, we got to put one of his favorite targets on there because I think the reason Carson isn't going to play as well is because the Steelers will eliminate tight end Zach Ertz from this game
Makes sense.
and really force Carson to throw it outside the numbers, and those guys are going to have to beat us. Zach Ertz has not delivered on expectations so far this season.
No, sir.
He has not. I'm not going to say he looks healthy. He looks good. The route running's still there. The hands are still there.
The connection's not.
The connection's not, and I just think the whole team as a whole is suffering a little bit right now.
Philly's going through what I would like to call an identity crisis right
Absolutely.
now. We don't know what we are.
Absolutely.
We don't know what the offense is doing.
This is a big week to figure that out.
It is.
It's a big week to figure that out. But unfortunately, with options like Jonnu Smith, with options, and I also mentioned him earlier, but Evan Ingram isn't a bad play this week. Hunter Henry isn't a bad play this week. Mo Alley Cox against the Browns is not a bad play this week. There's options at tight end. Don't feel uneasy sitting Ertz this week.
My last sit of the week is going to be one Calvin Ridley.
Ooh, spicy.
He is the reason a lot of you are probably 3-0 right
Picante.
now. He's probably the reason a lot of you are probably 3-0, 3-1 in your leagues.
Absolutely.
Listen, impressive first couple games of the season. He went for 0 catches last week.
I think there was this one podcast that told you to sell him high after that one big game that he had.
I can't think of the name of it right now,
Oh.
but listen, going against Carolina. Listen, Carolina held the trio of Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, and DeAndre Hopkins to less than 100 yards combined last week.
Wow.
If you know anything about that Arizona offense, you know they force feed DeAndre Hopkins the ball.
That's impressive.
And the fact that they were not able to do that, I highly doubt that changes with Matt Ryan, who is on the decline, and Calvin Ridley, who's coming off an atrocious game.
Yeah,
and with Julio Jones being a little banged up right now.
Yeah.
And if he plays, he's probably just a decoy. If he doesn't play, then Calvin Ridley's definitely going to be
I
targeted.
think defenses are starting to pick up on the whole Julio decoy thing.
Stay away from Calvin Ridley this week.
Yeah.
Stay away from Calvin Ridley. That's all.
Not mad at that. If there is a week for him to bounce back from a game as bad as that, I'm thinking it would be against Carolina at home. But I don't know, man. Last week I saw him open a lot. Jair Alexander's a great cornerback, but Matt Ryan just doesn't look right. He doesn't look right. Julio not being right affects that a lot. I'm not mad at that at all. I think we're going to win a lot of people some matchups this week. Man. Hey. All right, some light waiver wire pickups now. So, the thing about the waiver wire, now, whether you're in a free agency bidding league or just a waiver priority league, waiver wire pickups will make or break your season. We already have seen the injuries to some big names. If you have a Saquon injury, imagine what a James Robinson pickup meant for you at the beginning of the season.
That's a fact.
With McCaffrey down, if you were able to scoop up his handcuff in Mike Davis, you look great right now. You know what I mean?
Now no Nick Chubb.
Another, and this is actually not a waiver wire pick, but someone I'm just saying to keep your eye on. So for the Packers in the long term is Jamal Williams. They want to keep Aaron Jones fresh, and Jamal Williams has shown a capability to take those in between the tackles runs, and he is very good in PPR.
He's actually one of my waiver wire picks.
Is he actually? I should have started. My bad. No, I just wanted to preface it just because people sleep on the waiver wire. People sleep on it, and I just want people to know that leagues will be won by James Robinson this year. Leagues will be won. Well, separation will be created by Mike Davis. Joshua Kelly, we told you to get a couple weeks ago. Now look at what's happening with Austin Eckler. Guys, these are important things. We are doing this for the people, for y'all. Just please, just trust us. We know what we're talking about. So Jamal Williams.
Yeah, man.
There is a bye week for Green Bay this week, so just keep that in mind.
Bye week for Green Bay and also Detroit.
Yes.
My thing with Jamal Williams is the reason I have him as a waiver wire pickup is Aaron Rodgers has just been looking like he's out there having fun, guys. I'm not sure if you've seen the play.
Absolutely.
With no Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers is the MVP right
Absolutely.
now. And with Jamal Williams getting targeted 8 times and catching all 8 of those balls, I only see that connection getting better. They want to keep Aaron Jones fresh. They know with being 4-0, they know they're going to make that playoff push.
Yeah.
And they know they're going to need Aaron Jones to do it.
Yeah.
Give me Jamal Williams being a great fallback guy, probably a flex.
Yeah.
Maybe even a low-end RB2 in most
I
leagues.
need to see, now that they are 4-0, I need to see, are they going to give Aaron Jones a break?
Yeah.
Because he's your workhorse. You're going to have to ride him later down the stretch. I think Jamal Williams can help them do that.
Yep.
I'm with you. I'm lockstep with you on that one, man. My first waiver wire pickup, I'm going to stick with running backs. With the injury of Austin Eckler, Joshua Kelly is in position to become a workhorse. But we already told you to pick him up, so I don't need to remind you guys of that, right?
Facts.
Now let's look at Justin Jackson, returning from injury after not being available for the first 3 weeks of the season. And we now have him able to play that Eckler role. So instead of 1A Eckler, 1B Kelly, 1A Kelly, 1B Justin Jackson, he's going to be the change of pace back over there. We've seen that Justin Herbert, unlike Tyrod Taylor, shown more of a propensity to throw the ball to his running backs. I think Justin Jackson is worthy of a pickup. With Joshua Kelly having some fumble problems as well, let's see how they employ their run game this week. Pick him up. Let's wait and see. I think you're going to like what you see, and then moving forward while Eckler's out, you have someone to plug in as your RB2, maybe flex.
All right.
A lot of upside there.
I'm going to go another running back because
Okay, man. Running backs,
you've seen all the RB injuries.
Running backs to me are the cornerstone of fantasy.
That as well.
So if
And
you got them, keep bringing them.
waiver wire pickup number 2, DeAndre Swift.
Okay. Hey, we told y'all, but I don't think y'all listen. Now it's time to listen.
Now it's time to listen. You didn't listen to the first episode. Hey, listen to me now. I told you guys before it was a reach. Now it's a grab. DeAndre Swift
Very well put.
is the number 1 pass catching back in that. Listen, I understand. Oh, it's a packed backfield over in Detroit. I get it. Adrian Peterson probably getting 11 to 15 carries a game. Kerryon Johnson's gonna get his carries. Neither one of them are catching out of the backfield like DeAndre Swift.
Yes.
And it's only getting better.
Once they realize DeAndre Swift is really good at running the ball as well, I think the tide's going to start to change.
And I saw him in the red zone a little bit last week. If he starts getting that touchdown possibility, you have yourself a solid 10 to 12 points a game.
Absolutely.
That's the floor.
Yes.
Go ahead and get you a DeAndre Swift.
Absolutely. Listen once this time, fuckers. My next pickup, man. This one might seem a little weird, but I'm watching this offense grow. Yeah, they're going through some turmoil right now, but I've seen this guy become more and more involved each week in a multitude of ways. Out the backfield, catching, even in special teams. Laviska Shenault Jr. in Jacksonville is going to become their... I don't know if you guys remember this, but when Jacksonville drafted Denard Robinson out of Michigan, the quarterback, they tried to utilize... Jacksonville likes to utilize those athletes. Like those in high school, you're going to refer to them as athletes because they can play corner, they can play receiver, they're just all over the field. Laviska Shenault on offense is just an athlete. Gets carries out of the backfield. Gets catches from Gardner Minshew, whether it's drag routes, crossing routes, curl routes. The guy has shown an ability to get the ball in open space and actually do something with it. Now, being a Gator that I am, you're never gonna find me showing a love to no UCF Knight.
That's biased.
Laviska Shenault gets the benefit of the doubt. Go ahead and pick him up. Like my guy just said, that was beautifully put. This is not a stash. This is a grab. Is that what you said? It was really good. I wish I remembered it. It was really good.
It was good.
But this is a grab at this point. This is a must grab off of your
Not
waiver
a
wire.
reach.
Prioritize.
It wasn't a reach.
Not a reach, but a grab. I love that. I love that.
I like it.
And we out. We out, man. LaVisca Chenault. Feel confident in that one. Last waiver wire pickup, my guy.
Shit, where were you going with it? Were you Mr. Jason?
Oh, we can tie this one because
yeah,
I'll be
just
real.
tie it.
Again, not a lot of rehearsal.
Yeah.
We both have a great fantasy mind. Number 1 and 2. You're number 3 or 4 now. But top playoff teams respectively. Listen to what we got to say, man. And we both didn't even realize we both had Jamal Williams.
Facts.
We also didn't realize we both had Chase Edmonds. Why do you like him? And I'll tell the people why I do.
I like him just because I hate Kenyon Drake. I'll give you that. Hey, look, Kenyon Drake hasn't looked good. He's had all the opportunities, but none of the success.
Yes.
I like him to see less and less touches as weeks go on.
Yeah.
And shit, I don't wish injury upon anybody, but it becomes Chase Edmonds' backfield.
Absolutely.
If that's the point. So
Absolutely.
I say this isn't a grab just yet. I would say this one is a reach.
Yeah.
You know
okay.
what I'm saying?
Fair. PPR leagues, I think he's worth a spot on your roster right now.
Definitely.
Standard leagues, let's wait and see. In the limited touches he's had, he's looked so explosive. He's looked like Kyler Murray's perfect complement. I think Kenyon Drake is a change of pace guy, which is weird because that's how they use Edmonds now.
Yeah.
But Kenyon Drake, he doesn't seem to have that workhorse ability. Before, I could blame Arizona's offensive line. I can't really do that anymore. They have improved a lot.
You know what's an anomaly? Last year, Kenyon Drake was actually getting at least 4 targets a game. That's down to 1.5 this year.
and that's going up for Edmonds.
Yeah.
I think they've realized that Edmonds is the more explosive talent. I just think it becomes when does it, like, we need to see something that just makes it, like, obliviously clear, and I think a matchup against the Jets allows you to do that.
Exactly.
I really think it does.
This coming up matchup.
Chase Edmonds, both of our waiver wire pickups. Yeah, go ahead and grab him just off the strength of him just performing better than Kenyon Drake right now. All right, man. Now it's that time. This is actually my favorite segment on this fantasy thing. Favorite portion of our fantasy segment. Because this is the one where it's like, okay, not a lot of people are on this. When I say sleeper of the week, I'm saying if he's out there, pick him up, and if you have him, play him. Play these guys. They're going to give you points that no one else is privy to. So that's what I mean when I say sleeper of the week. And I'll go first with mine. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Great matchup. Should be a very good game. Battle of Pennsylvania. The Eagles' secondary has shown an ability to give up plays. Not necessarily to the wide receiver, but a little bit to the tight end. Eric Ebron, I could argue, is a tight end in wide receiver close. Like, he moves like a wide receiver.
Definitely.
Big enough to be a tight end, though. This matchup against Philly is a prime Eric Ebron spot. Darius Slay is going to have to take away a side of the field because of how Pittsburgh likes to spread the ball around. I don't like any... And you guys are dealing with some injuries in that secondary. Philly, what's new? I think Eric Ebron is able to really exploit a matchup that he hasn't really been gifted so far in the season. And in what he has had, he's looked good. He's looked good. I don't know if you watched one of our episodes in the preseason. I made some comments about Eric Ebron that he's starting to make me eat my words a little bit. Not there yet, just a little bit. Sleeper of the week, Eric Ebron, plug him into your lineups. No linebackers on Philly's side. No one capable of locking him down in the secondary. Lock him in, Eric Ebron.
All right, well, my sleeper of the week is actually one of your waiver wire pickers.
Okay.
Mr. Joshua Kelly.
Okay, yeah.
Guys,
Okay.
the Chargers have a pretty difficult matchup this week.
They do.
They're going to need to score.
Yeah.
And down there in that goal line, I don't think it's Justin Jackson getting
Definitely
that ball.
not. Definitely not.
It's going to be Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
And if he punches it in for 1 or 2 TDs, what else can you ask for?
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
The touches are going to be there. Might not get the catches out of the backfield that you want, but I think he makes up for it. I think this is a Kelly game.
I think it is a Kelly game. Throw him in your lineup.
He needs to get out of his head with the fumbles. Needs to get out of his head
He
with
does.
the
He
fumbles.
needs to get his confidence up.
Although I will say against Tampa Bay, he should have never been in a position to fumble because they were going into the half. Just take a knee. Go into the half. But whatever. All right, sleepers of the week, man. Yo, plug and play these guys. These need to be in your lineup this week. You heard? Last, but certainly not least,
My favorite segment.
your favorite segment, and this is the one that you actually wanted to add to this thing that we do for fantasy. Buy low, sell high. Now this, I just want to preface it with the importance of it because we've seen it come to fruition already.
So many times.
You could have finessed after week 2 Calvin Ridley for a running back who wasn't playing that hot and maybe a Devontae Adams because he was hurt. And some people get impatient. People get impatient. And I might have just given away my buy low by just referencing him, but gotta gotta know your fantasy managers in your league. People are impulsive. People wait. People don't like to act quick enough. You gotta know who you're dealing with. And at the same time, understand the fact that players can't do 40 points every week.
For an example, would you want to say Odell is a sell high this week?
As an example, I think Odell is a perfect candidate to sell high. 38 points.
4 TDs?
3, I believe, actually. 3
Oh.
TDs against so you're exposing a porous defense, and 2 of the touchdowns were trick plays.
Yep.
When you look at the context of it,
That's not sustainable.
That's not sustainable. That is not sustainable. With that being said, take it away, my man. Who's your buy low this week? Who are you buying in on?
Guys, buy low on
For the
David.
low.
For the low. Let me get David Johnson. Of the Houston
Okay,
Texans.
interesting.
Listen, guys.
You can buy very low.
He hasn't looked good, but what else is new? It's Bill O'Brien.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Bill O'Brien has shown an ability not to be able to utilize certain players. DeAndre Hopkins sometimes last year didn't look good.
Absolutely.
With him out of town, I believe that this becomes David Johnson town. Deshaun Watson, of course, is going to get his numbers, but I feel like that's only going to open up things for David Johnson.
Yes.
Teams don't go in playing the Texans worried about David Johnson.
Absolutely.
They're worried about those speed guys,
Yes.
Will Fuller.
Yes.
They're worried about Deshaun Watson getting out of the pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with I don't think they've hired a new coach yet. Or whoever they decide to bring up, I just believe they actually are able to utilize David Johnson how he needs to be, and he can be that low end RB1, high end RB2 that we drafted him to be.
Okay.
Go ahead and get him while the getting is still good.
Very low. You can easily get David Johnson. right
Easily,
now. Very easily.
They're not asking for much. Guys.
So my buy low candidate. So this is going to be a little bit of a shock, but again, this has everything to do with impatience and impulsivity. Aaron Rodgers in that Green Bay offense has looked incredible. Missing his number 1 receiver the last 2 weeks. With that being said, I could make the argument that there is no need to rush Devontae Adams back. Make sure that those soft tissue injuries are very difficult to manage and work around. Make sure it's just healed. But they also take time to heal. With that being said, if you have a manager in your league right now who isn't performing that well and has Devontae Adams on his lineup, in his roster, hasn't been able to play him, he's just looking to get a win. He's desperate for a win. He or she is desperate for that win. Buy low on Devontae Adams. You can easily work around something where you can make the argument that the guy isn't even playing right now. You're completely buying into the long-term prospects. Devontae Adams is a great candidate to buy low. Bye week this week, another free week for him to get healthy. Someone is going to think that, wow, this is my 3rd week in a row with no Devontae. Next week, week 6, he comes back and he flourishes with Aaron Rodgers the way we've all seen him do. I think that's a great buy low candidate.
I love it.
Now sell high. People who, maybe it's just a name. Maybe it's just, they just had a big game like Odell just did. That's not mine, but just like he did. And you don't feel good about the sustainability of it. Who are we selling for a nice haul?
You have Melvin Gordon on your roster? Go ahead and get him off of your roster. Listen.
Bye-bye.
Listen, there's been a little bit of a injury bug over there.
Yes.
Over there in Denver. Listen, Philip Lindsay's coming back, guys. I'm not saying that backfield is going to be split, but that was Philip Lindsay's backfield before Melvin Gordon was there. I don't know how they utilize Philip Lindsay, but it's only going to hurt Melvin Gordon's production. You want to get him out of there before the matchup starts getting a little tougher, before Philip Lindsay actually starts getting those touches, before the QB play affects the running back position. It's just a dumpster fire over there that's coming. Get rid of him. Get a solid wide receiver or get a solid RB before it's too late.
Yeah, I agree with that. The numbers are there for you to be able to sell that. Got a garbage fluke touchdown against the Jets that really boosted that point total.
Exactly.
That's a perfect sell high candidate. Again, a little bit surprising here, man, but I'm selling high on Ezekiel Elliott. The way that Dallas is playing football right now, it looks like Ezekiel Elliott doesn't even belong in that system. They aren't utilizing him as a workhorse. They're falling behind early in games, and they're forced to throw it and throw it and throw it. Ezekiel Elliott is not the type of guy who I expect to get targeted 12 times in the passing game for 70 yards. I mean, he's been doing it. This is the question, though. Is it sustainable? Sustainability is everything in fantasy. We're only in week 5. It's a long season. Got 11 more to go. I'm selling high on Ezekiel Elliott. I don't think the Cowboys' defense self-corrects enough for Dallas to be ahead in enough of games for them to just give Zeke the ball 26 times and just let him pound away, and eat that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That boy got a tattoo on his stomach that say "Feed me."
I love it. No, I love it though. I love it. Feed it. Just feed him. Feed the guy. I mean, but the way they're feeding him isn't the way that. It's not the way I like. It's not the way I would prefer. And I'm selling high on Zeke. I think you could get a nice haul. That's a nice haul you could get for Ezekiel Elliott right now.
You can get a lot of that.
But yeah, man, week 5 of fantasy. Right now, I am 4-0 and 3-1 respectively. First place in both leagues. Weird situation where first place lost last week, but I have more points than them, and I got my first L, so I actually moved up. So you love to see that.
I believe I'm only in 1 league this year. Didn't want to overstress myself. I was in 7 last year.
7 leagues. What's wrong with you?
Yo, man, I do this fantasy shit, man. But I kept it simple this year. I'm 3-1 right now.
Yeah, playoff position.
Yeah,
12-man league. Only 4 teams make it, and we're in playoff position. Hey, impressive.
Yeah,
Impressive.
Whatever you want to call it.
Nah, man, but we love y'all. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for our updates and behind the logo content. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at behind the logo 23. You get a little too aggressive with that paper.
I was gonna throw it at the camera. You fucked up my outro. I'm gonna still do it.
Hey, straight out, we love y'all, man. Always know we are pulling up.
I almost hit the camera.